On today's episode, we are going to be talking about the top 10, way too early, top 10 rookie fantasy football rankings. At number 10, I have Kenyon Sadiq. The measurables don't match the tape. Like, he's not the most dominant overall player. And with tight ends in fantasy, landing spot, especially rookie tight ends, landing spots do matter. That being said, we did see Brock Bowers burst on the scene. We did see Sam Laporta burst onto the scene. We saw Colston Loveland burst onto the scene in the back half of last year. Even Tyler Warren, before Daniel Jones' injury, we saw him have a really, really good impact early on in his career. So I think the narrative that tight ends need more time to develop is gone. It's just simply not there anymore. Tight ends are assimilating to the NFL level very quickly now. Very quickly. It's not a 3-year process. It is for some, in some cases, like your Tucker Crafts. I think Kittle was like year 2 breakout. But in most cases, we're pretty fucking locked in there. The good ones are good right away. Nowadays, Brock Bowers, Sam Laporta, Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren, etc. But I am just not as high on Kenyon Sadiq as I was on all of those names I just listed, so I have him at 10. Omar Cooper Jr. at 9. Elite route runner. I glazed this guy yesterday. Go listen to it, ranking the receivers. Emmett Johnson at 8. And now the thing is, when it comes to running backs, positional value is incredibly, landing spot is incredibly important when it comes to ranking these rookie running backs. However, I don't think it's as important as a lot of people think when it comes to receivers, because Emeka Buka fell to the 11th round, 10th round last year in drafts, in redraft leagues. That guy was the best rookie receiver, probably besides, well, I mean, up until Baker's injury, he was. He was like a top 5 receiver. He was a top 10 receiver. And then he fell off a cliff in the back half of the year. But nobody picked him because he got drafted to a room with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. How the fuck did that work out? So if any of these receivers go to a loaded room, I wouldn't get scared away. Like, I don't think it should take your stock in them because they went to a loaded room, especially in Dynasty. And I've learned a lot of lessons the hard way in Dynasty. Just draft players based on their talent. Fuck their position, no value. Fuck their landing spot. Draft players if you think they're good in Dynasty. Because I picked on Keon Coleman over Ricky Pearsall, even though I thought Ricky Pearsall was better a few years ago. And I'm like, the way Ricky Pearsall started last year, now that there's no Juwan Jennings, no Deebo Samuel, no Brandon Ayuk, and he's going to be a feature receiver with Mike Evans, I think Ricky Pearsall is going to be nasty next year. I really do. And I'm going to be pissed that I took fucking Keon Coleman over him because he went to Josh Allen, and I fell in love with the idea of Keon Coleman being Josh Allen's new number 1 receiver. When the entire draft process, I was like, oh, Ricky Pearsall, that guy's so much better at football than Keon Coleman. But I picked because of landing spot. Fuck that for Dynasty. You pick at least. I mean, I'm still figuring out this Dynasty thing. I'm bad. I'm really bad in one league. I'm actually really, really good in another league, but I've made some stupid fucking trades. I've screwed up a lot in Dynasty. And the biggest thing I've learned is you just draft based on how good you think the player is. Fuck his landing spot. That's not the case with redraft, though. And when it does come to these running backs, landing spot does matter. Like, if Emmett Johnson goes to the Seahawks and Jadarian Price goes to, like, a team with a running back, like if Jadarian Price goes to the Texans, right, who just traded for David Montgomery, and Emmett Johnson goes to the Seahawks, so it's going to be him and Charbonnet. Or if Emmett Johnson goes to a team that doesn't have a running back, which I can't think of one right now, I'm not even going to try to think of one because my brain's in shambles, then I would take the player that's in a more favorable position to get more volume, right? Obviously, when it comes to the running backs. And in redraft leagues, I don't think it fucking matters. I think I'm at number 7 right now. Emmett Johnson was 8, running back, Nebraska, fucking beast. 7 is Casey Concepcion. I think he's going to be landing spot. I think all these receivers from here on out are going to be landing spot proof, meaning that wherever they go, I think they're going to produce at a pretty decent level. And again, this is a really, really raw ranking that is going to be subject to so much change the further we get along in this draft process, right? But I think Casey Concepcion had so much production left on the table because Marcel Reed was incompetent at times. I think his route running is elite. I think he's better at the contested catch than he gets a lot of credit for. But the 10% drop rate. But he drops 10% of shut up. They're like concentration drops. Romeo Dobbs has concentration drops. He just signed for $20 million in New England. Casey Concepcion is going to be fine. You know what you can't fix? If a player has fast twitch muscles or not. If the player is in and out of his breaks. You can't teach that. You can get better hands. Hit the jug machine. Casey Concepcion, number 7. Jadarian Price at 6. I think he's getting a little bit underrated, Jadarian Price, because of how nasty Jeremiah Love is. He's a dog, bro. He's a fucking dog. Physical at the physical. I almost said at the catch point. I'm in my wide receiver jargon mode. Physical at the point of contact. Really elusive. I don't know if he's going to be able to get the edge at the NFL level the way he consistently got the edge at the college level because he's not that fast. He does have good burst through the line of scrimmage, really good vision. Elusive, good player, good player. His pass catching work, he just didn't have any because Jeremiah Love took all of it. So I think that does limit his upside, but I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can do it. Like just because he didn't do it doesn't mean he can't do it, right? And why would you have him on the field for passing downs when Jeremiah Love is a 3-down back stud? And there's a reason he's number 1 on this list by a long shot. Fernando Mendoza at number 5, and this is very, very barring where Fernando Mendoza or if the Raiders also decide to trade for a receiver, attack the offensive line. This is it depends on the draft with Mendoza because he doesn't have the offer rushing upside. He is very accurate. He's going to throw the deep ball. He threw a lot of touchdowns. I feel like he could throw a lot of touchdowns. But the no rushing upside limitations, the lack of weapons, I need to move this dude down. I don't know what the fuck I have him doing at 5. Like I said, this is a fluid list. I would put him at 10, honestly. He has no rushing upside. The receivers suck. The offensive line is mid. He's going to be running the ball a whole lot. They got Tyler Linderbaum to fucking run the ball. Don't get it mixed up. They did not get Tyler Linderbaum to protect Fernando Mendoza, although he will help with that. They got Tyler Linderbaum to run the fucking ball because he's an elite running back. So they're going to run the ball a lot. I think Mendoza is 10, Sadiq 9, Cooper 8, Emmett 7, Emmett Johnson 7, Casey Concepcion 6, Jadarian Price 5, and then Mekhi Lemon at 4. He's the most. If Mekhi Lemon ends up on the Rams or the Chiefs, I mean, you could take him as high as 1. I think he could have 125 catches if he ends up on the Chiefs. I'm not even kidding. He is that talented. The feel for defensive backs and the soft spots in zone coverage is ridiculous. And he goes from catcher to runner really, really fast. He doesn't have a lot of wiggle. Like he's not going to make a lot of guys miss in open space, but he will be a very, very reliable in PPR leagues as well. If he goes to the Chiefs, look the fuck out. I think that he might be 1 on this list. I wouldn't go that far. Number 3 is Tate, 17 yards a catch. The dude's a fucking beast. Number 2 is Tyson. Talked about him earlier in the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. Jordan Tyson's the best receiver in this class, highest upside. I had a devious thought about Jordan Tyson. I was like, you know who this kind of looks like? A little bit of fucking Antonio Brown, bro. I swear I had that thought. I don't want to do it because AB, I think, had the best prime I've ever seen a wide receiver have. That includes Julio Jones. That includes prime Devontae Adams. That includes Calvin Johnson. Kid you not, Antonio Brown had the best prime I've ever seen out of wide receiver. Like 6-year span, 5-year span, elite. Jordan Tyson, I see a little bit of that in him. I see a little bit of that. And then make no mistake about it, I think Jeremiah Love, no matter where he goes, should be a top 10 pick in every single redraft league come August and September for fantasy football. I mean, the dude's unbelievable. And I understand there's going to be a little people scared to take that elite running back prospect at the rookie position because Bijan Robinson didn't exactly smash it out of the park his rookie year. Ashton Jeanty didn't exactly smash it out of the park last year. I'm willing to take the risk, and I think Jeremiah Love's value might actually drop because the casual ball knower will think that Ashton Jeanty, he rushed for 2,500 yards in the Mountain West. Surely he's a better prospect than Jeremiah Love, when that is not the case. So I think Jeremiah Love at like 7 or 8. I haven't looked at a redraft mock in since last draft season, quite frankly. But I'd have a hard time passing on this guy no matter where the fuck he lands. He's unbelievable, and that'll do it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Those are way too early top 10 rookies.